Hello everyone. Nice autumn day out. Thanksgiving is near and I'm making this video as a response from a question a friend presented to me recently a few days ago regarding vinyl collecting, storing them, and when enough is enough. Okay, so I thought to address my friend's question, make a video instead of trying to type it out. Okay. A little history with me. Back in the later part of the 80s, of course, everybody went to CDs, myself included, and oh, they sound great and they're so convenient. You can pop a CD in, don't have to worry about flipping it over. And then the carousel CD players came, and finally units where you could put like 200 in there or more. So that was a good era, and I still like CDs. I think they're great. I'm not an audio pine, oh, this first pressing of, this title on CD is lousy and it's better with the I'm not an audio pine. I'm more, I'm listening to I'm kind of bypassing how it was recorded and just listening to what's coming out of the musicians, what the musical, the composition, how does it flow? Okay, they haven't came up with a word for people like me yet that listen on that level, but people who really care about that's important of how it's recorded and what equipment you use to listen, audio pine. But I go back to CDs. I love that period. CDs are great. I still have all of mine. I'm not getting rid of them. In fact, I've been adding to them because it's a buyer's market buying back catalog of CDs at thrift stores. Hold on one second. I'll give you an example. For a buck each, I just recently picked up these titles. At thrift stores, people are unloading their CDs, they're going out of style and all that, but they're like the new thrift store vinyl. When CDs came on the market, people started getting rid of their albums, dropping them off at thrift stores. They accumulated a collection of what they already had on album, on CD, and so you could pick those up pretty cheap. Now it's been kind of the reverse, where people are turning in their CDs at thrift stores or garage sales or whatever, and you can pick them up cheap. So yeah, I get music any way I can that way. And Joe Cocker, want something cool to listen to in the car, I just grab that. Okay, going back to when CDs started, a lot of people got rid of their albums. I did not. I said, well, I better hold on to these. I'm a collector. So I put them in storage, and when CD, I did a couple things when with the CD, the album revival, when that happened some time ago. I took all of my albums out of storage, okay, and set up a little vinyl room, and I started hitting the thrift stores, and that opened up a whole new horizon for me as far as my listening to music, what I like to listen to, because not only was I able to add albums in the rock and roll and popular music that I grew up listening to in the 60s and 70s. I'm 58 years old. You know, add albums that I could not afford at the time because I went through various stages where I was working, plenty of money, let's buy some albums, and between jobs, and I can't buy that C-level album, but because of budgetary restraints. But years later I was able to pick it up at thrift store, so I added to my rock and roll popular music collection that way. Okay. Then I started buying, out of curiosity, jazz albums that were available at thrift stores. The classic vocal period albums, old school country and western, and stuff on Command Records, and international music. Okay. The type of music that was popular in my parents' era that I kept away from, like radiation, like it was radiation growing up. You know, every generation they like their own music. But when I started buying albums through thrift stores, it was a chance in a very cheap manner to actually buy music on vinyl from my parents' era, their musical era. And in that, I made a lot of wonderful discoveries, and that has really broadened my appreciation of all music from all time periods. And today, I have a whole side there that's vinyls that I collected for that period. I'm going to move the camera to the vinyl room and then finish up the video. I want to show you on the floor all the thrift store vinyl I have purchased this year. Okay, I haven't got a production crew, so I have to take the camera off the pod myself and bring it in there. I appreciate your patience. Okay, this is the main area of the vinyl room, and on the floor there, and it continues over here, these are most of the albums that I purchased from thrift stores in my little area of town. And some of them's been shelved, but this is most of them. And my shelving starts up here, and this is the classic jazz, and we go into classic vocals. This is out of place. Classic vocals here, and miscellaneous stuff down there. My Command record collection is down there. That's much treasured, and I'll make a separate video on that. And then on the other side is my rock and roll records, pop music, okay, all down there too. So let me put the camera back on the pod, and I'll conclude. Okay, you've seen what I brought this year from thrift stores on the floor. I'm in the process of putting them on my Excel spreadsheet where I have a list of all my vinyl collection. Then they will be shelved, and I'm going to get some better shelving and set that room up a bit better. As my friend said, how much is enough? How do you store all these albums? What's your method? Are you going to run out of room? I think what he's getting at, and at some point should we stop? For myself, I enjoy thrift store shopping so much, for vinyl, that I will never stop because it has become a very fun hobby, activity. So like if you like to go fishing, you're not going to stop fishing. I have a friend also who I met at a thrift store. He was looking at vinyl, and we became friends that way. I just went over and talked to him. Now we're like really good friends, and we go out together thrift store vinyl shopping. And you ever seen the show American Picker? Those two guys that travel in the van. Well, when we do that, that's us. Okay. I'm still running into incredible titles, and these are some of the recent ones. Dave Brubeck, Red Hot and Cool Jazz. This is like in mint condition, both vinyl and album cover. And I've been looking for this album. Last spring I was able to find it at a thrift store, and that was great. Great Pianist, jazz Pianist. Mint condition album cover. I found that at a thrift store, and you just find cool stuff like that. Chubby Checkers and Let's Go Latin. Just really cool album covers and period stuff. When a person buys albums from thrift stores, I'm a very big advocate of this. It is sort of like adopting a dog or a puppy that's been sent to the pound, because what you're doing is you're bringing that record home, you're cleaning it, you're giving it tender love and care and a good home, okay? And that's very important than them just all these records being thrown away and lost. They're in my hands now. I'm going to enjoy them, and when I pass, my wife is going to have a great sale, and somebody else is going to enjoy them. Okay, it's a fun hobby. At some point, well, I still got plenty of room right now. I am going to slow down on my thrift store buying, but I'm not going to give up the hunt. I just probably be a little bit more selective because I have most everything. And a record collection as large as mine, if you took them all 100%, what percentage of them do I listen to a year? I would say 10 to 15%. I love listening to music. I listen to music more than I watch. I hardly ever watch TV anymore. If I do watch TV, I'm very selective of what I watch. Documentaries, good news programs, but out of the week, maybe I'll watch an hour or two of TV a week. And as I grow old, as I get older, I concentrate more on my bucket list, and collecting vinyl is one of them, and listening to music, and going into that 1001 albums that you must listen to before you die. I find music very stimulating, and just listening to master musicians and composers and ideas put to vinyl is a lot better than watching any sitcom TV show. Just my opinion. My other pleasure is to watch classic movies or independent films. Anyway, so that's my answer. I'm going to, keep what I have, keep buying, but at some point slow down because, I'll have everything, and, I'll be a little bit more selective. Well, do I really need another album by this artist where, another Jim Reeves album where I have 10 of his. Also, to conclude, not only am I in a thrift store vinyl, I still buy new music, just not on CD anymore. If an album comes out by a new artist I like, let me get one of those real quick. This album is a debut album from an artist named Aurora. It's a gatefold. She's from memory block, one of those countries. The country that ABBA's from, let's just say, okay. Very talented artist with a great debut. So any new artists or veteran artists who release new music, I will pick up their vinyl, and you always get a download card or a copy of the music on CD, and that's a lot more expensive proposition, so I don't buy nearly as many of those. I have got a nice collection of them, new artists or some reissue. I have the Beach Boys reissued on vinyl, Pet Sounds, so stuff like that. I hope I answered my friend's question, and I want to thank everybody for watching this video, and wish everyone a nice, safe, joyful Thanksgiving holiday, and you all be safe. Your comments are welcome, okay? One other thing regarding shelving and how much vinyl you should buy, or when enough is enough. There are other videos on this subject as well on YouTube, so you might want to check out some of those. Thank you so much. Have a good holiday. Bye.